Hi everybody, I'm Hayden Crawford from the Dreamtime Academy, and thanks so much for watching this week's Wise Women in Wellness show. Well, today I've got a really special guest with me today, Annie May from Alchemy Body and Soul in Yallingup. Annie is an amazing woman who does lots of good work, not only just for the community, but for the planet as well. So Annie, welcome to Wise Women in Wellness. Thank you so much for joining me today. Would you like to tell me a little bit about your passions, please?
Thank you so much, Hayden, and thank you for inviting me on this show. And this is really very special because it's probably the first time I've ever actually done anything like this. So my passions really are about healing and helping people heal and really living up to their full potential. And I think it's such an exciting time. The new sciences are emerging now where people can tap into the quantum field and live in the world of possibility rather than predictability. And that's, that's a really true passion of mine. And that's where a lot of my energy goes these days, just coaching people and being able to say that they can live deliberately and live creatively without having to leave life up to chance.
I love what you're saying, actually. Just tell me more about maybe your coaching techniques or why, that you, have chosen to go down this road.
Okay, so, well, firstly, why I've chosen to go down this road is because I've always believed that, we've been bestowed with this amazing brain and this body, and the infinite spirit that lives within governs so many things about our lives. And I think that, we really need to be able to tap into our true potential. And I think, as a human, we want to be able to utilize all of the gifts that we've been given. And I think people don't really live up to their potential. I think people tend to get what they're given and they think that's their lot in life. And I totally disagree. And I think as a young child, I used to look around me and think, why aren't people stepping into their power, and why aren't they doing, more for themselves, and why are they living their lives for somebody else, and those sorts of things. And so as I've got older, I've experienced, as we all have, trauma and disaster and all sorts of different things that give us our wake-up call, if you like. And I always think that people make a change in life once they have been given a wake-up call, whether that's a personal health crisis or losing a loved one or, whatever that situation may be. But once we start to tap into that potential and we start to look within, then that's when we really discover gold. And for me, that's the most exciting part about being human, is that we evolve, we grow older, we get better at what we do, and we start to blame people less and live more deliberately. And I think, as a soul being put on this earth, we've got so much to learn and so much to give other people. And I think once our cup is full, that is when we can really, be the true person that we're here to do. And so my purpose is to fill people's cups, and then they can start really living their lives. So for me, that's, very, very exciting.
So how do you do that, Annie?
How do I do that? So, well, I've created a little retreat, a 2-hour retreat, where I invite people to come. Often people will arrive, on my doorstep looking for, something that's going to change them physically or emotionally, and they might be going through some stuff. And so we sit down, and the process, the initial process is a little bit lengthy because we need to tease out what the blocks are. Often the blocks can be emotional. People might be experiencing childhood trauma, emotional, all sorts of different emotional issues that people have. They might be experiencing divorce, loss, bankruptcy, whatever that trauma might be. And we look at that and we tease that open and we say, okay, let's really look at, why this has happened. And we acknowledge that this has happened for a reason. And we don't deny that it's traumatic and that it's upsetting for that person. But then we actually look at it and say, well, we've been given a beautiful opportunity to change things around. Pardon me. So I think one of the most exciting things is being able to look at what those opportunities are. And most of my work is energy center based. And the Eastern people, look at that as a chakra base. And so we look at all the different issues that govern each of those chakras, and then we look at how we can use affirmations, intention, breath work, journaling, meditation to use as daily tools for people to really raise their vibration and be able to create a new type of neural pattern in their brain so that they can start believing in their potential, because I think that people underestimate what their brain is capable of doing. So it's about, initially, the tools, I suppose, is introducing people to the quantum field, which is the law of possibility, the old Newtonian laws, or the own Newtonian sort of way of looking at physics was, more about the predictability rather than the possibility. And so I like to think that we can live in the world of possibility. And by doing that, we just look at a little bit of science, but not too much, not overwhelmingly so. And we really make it so that it's something that's very adaptive, and that if the person is, for instance, looking for a career change or a new partner in their lives, and by the way, for all you people out there that are looking for a new partner, I've had wonderful success with finding soulmates, so I'm very excited about that, and I've got lots of testimonials, so I'm pretty happy. But we just need to change our patterning, and we just need to change our belief systems about ourselves. And so the initial part of the retreat is about removing the limiting beliefs, and then the middle part of the retreat is actually affirming what we want, and then the last part of the retreat is actually putting it into action. And then once the people, or my client, has actually been given the tools, they go away and they practice it as much as they can. And then I, follow up with constant feedback. I'm in touch with them via text or phone calls just to see how they're going, checking in with them, making sure that they're not losing momentum, because we get back into our daily lives and we tend to, this isn't really kind of working, or I can't be bothered, or, that sort of thing. But like anything, as you know, Hayden, if you continue with the process, then gold is at the end of the rainbow. And that's true for all of us. And it doesn't matter what colour, race, creed, whatever, belief, sex, religion, anything. Anyone that has a brain has got the ability to change their lives on this level.
And I think that's why you end up following your business, Alchemy Body and Soul, isn't it? Because it's about changing base metal into gold. Is that right, Annie?
Correct. And so the definition of alchemy, and there's plenty of them, but turning base metal into gold, is the ancient alchemist way, and the modern version of that is turning our limited beliefs into possibility, and that's the modern alchemist. And I think that we transform things with love and belief, and I'm seeing that more and more. And I think what's really exciting is that people are getting tired of, their lives and being sick and not having enough money and all of those things. And I think once we start to look at the fact that everything comes from within, and that the cause and effect is the other way around. So we need to look within as the cause, and then the effect is the outside. Whereas before we look outside for the cause to make us feel good inside, when it's actually the other way around. So I think the key to true manifestation then is to look at believing and feeling, getting the emotion, bridging the emotion, the subconscious body with the conscious brain into the heart center, and then emanating that. And that's, true emotion, and then believing that you've already got it, which is a big one. And that's hard to do. And that's with the tools that I give people, so that we know that that's a repetitive process that they do. And once they start to see the signs and signals that occur, the synchronicities and the little miracles that occur in their everyday life, that's when they start to put two and two together and go, this stuff works. And then when this stuff starts working, then they start getting really excited, because they start to live in the world of possibility, and they start to see the signs. And that's when the emotion starts to rise, and then we start to feel really positive about what we're creating. And then once we start to feel like it's already happened, and we've got to that really clear space, and we really do need to use clear intention for that, then we can start to really enjoy what we're manifesting. And it can be on any level. It can be, your soulmate. It can be lots of money and abundance in any way, and your career choice and whatever it might be, perfect health, perfect wealth, all those sorts of things. And so there's no limit to what we can create, and that's the exciting thing, and that's really what gets me out of bed every morning. I just think, oh my God, who can I help today? And the synchronicities all appear, and I have, every day is an amazing day for me. I'm so excited.
It's wonderful, Annie, and the work that you're doing is just so amazing and aligned, and I just really understand your passion for the work that you're doing, and I think you're doing such a great job. And I've been up at Alchemy Body and Soul, and I've seen firsthand the work that you do, and you've always been somebody that really inspires me, both you and Nigel. And I just I wish you all the best in the future of Alchemy and where it's going. Where do you actually see the business going in the future?
Well, the business has been taken to the next level, and I think we've made a lot of changes. We used to be providing lots and lots of different services for people, and we are a bit of a distance. We're a 10-minute drive from Dunsborough and half an hour drive from Margaret River, so we're not really in the city central per se. So we do find that people don't particularly want to travel if they want to do classes or just the odd massage here and there. So we've developed these programs and courses and seminars and things like that, so that people, when they do come here, it's such a beautiful position, as Hayden, you've seen it. It's on the lake. We're covered. We're surrounded by grassy knolls, and we've got the beautiful gallery next door and the restaurant, and we're in this beautiful landscape and surrounded by beautiful homes. And the energy here, we are also based on a quartz crystal reef, so the energy here is very light and very serene. So coming to work for me is such a gift. And so for people coming here and doing courses and seminars and retreats and everything, it's the ideal space. So it's not a busy hub per se. We don't have a lot of people coming and going, but my days are very, very busy creating and helping people live deliberately. And so, I'm still here, and it's 6 o'clock, and I've still got plenty of work to do, and I'll be back here in the morning at 8 o'clock. And every day's a joy, and being able to help so many people has just been fantastic. And I think when we opened, we're in our 6th year now. So when we opened, as I said, I was providing lots of different services, making the space available for people to come in with their different modalities, which worked really well. But I found that it diluted the purpose of what alchemy was. And I think we find that, we want to be able to work alongside people that have the same vision. And when you were with us, Hayden, that was amazing. And it's sad to see you not here anymore, but you never know. But I think it's just a beautiful space to be. And we're feeling very, very blessed to be here. And Yelling Up really is the place of love. And we just, as I say, it doesn't matter what season it is, it doesn't matter what time of year. It's heaven to be here, and it's heaven to be doing this work. So fantastic.
You really emanate such gratitude, Annie. The vibration that I get off you is just pure bliss and gratitude for the work that you do. And of course, when your vibration is that high and you step into joy, of course, what you're doing is you can't help but have an impact on other people's ascension. So good on you for doing what you're doing, and because it takes a huge leap of faith in and listening to your inner guidance to be able to to sort of be a catalyst for change. So hats off to you. Now, what sequence of events led up to all this happening? I'd be really intrigued to know how it all sort of manifested.
Okay. Well, I think life experience always brings us to where we're at, doesn't it? Really, and I've seen one of the early, I think, events that led me to believing in, I suppose, the quantum world was my brother having cancer, 30 years ago, and the power of prayer, and the fact that he was diagnosed with, choriocarcinoma. He was given 5 weeks to live, and we all rallied around and we did, meditation and diet and positive thinking. But the prayer and the meditation side of things really elevated us consciously. And I think that started us on the path of being able to have faith in a bigger world, and the here and now is just not it, and we've been given our physical bodies, to live, well, and to look after them and have, meaning and purpose in our lives while we're here on earth. But I think our mental bodies and our emotional bodies and spiritual bodies are, can take us to so many other places. And so that was one of the early events that shaped, my thinking around that. And then from there, you have, family crisis. Well, we won't go into those details because that's a really long story, but that really gave me greater faith in, a bigger mind. And once I started to help other people realise that, they could access their bigger mind in being able to create their future, that's when things started to fall into place. But I think the interesting thing about it, Hayden, is that I'd been doing this work and subconsciously I'd never really sort of put it all together, but it all just seemed to happen. I don't know, it was just a sequence of events, and then before I knew it, I was counselling people and having these little retreats, and then I was watching these miracles occur, and I thought, oh, okay. And then, I'd be reading, because I'm a non-stop reader. I've always got 4 books on the go, and they're always, the manifestation and creation and spiritual books. And I don't think I've read a novel I couldn't tell you the last time I read a novel, but it just opens up your thinking and, the subtle bodies that we have around us and how much we can draw from the universe to help us heal, and how much we can emanate into the universe to, to do that as well. And so it's been a process, and I think probably in the last maybe 2 years, it's been hugely successful. And that's why, we're rebranding Alchemy at the moment. We're at a whole different new level of creating the business. We're taking it to another level, and we're going to be, offering seminars and workshops, and we've got an online course that we're producing as well. But having said that, I still do a lot of massage and healing, and which is, been my passion for 23 years. I think I've been doing it since 1995, which is pretty amazing. And it still is my passion. I still love to do massage and teach massage. We ran a massage course earlier this year, and we had, a beautiful result with the students. And that gives me immense joy too, just seeing people coming. It's only over 3 weekends, 6 weeks, to see people coming in with no skills and leaving with amazing skills where they could actually trump, really any long-term, massage therapist that's out there because of the new skills that they're learning. And we build so much into that. So, and credit to my husband, who's, a naturopath and a chiropractor, Bowen therapist and martial artist. And, he does lots of natural therapies, and, his background is in Chinese herbs and, Chinese medicine. And so together we bring together our knowledge, and, we really help people, move in that direction as well. So, and health and healing, as that's the whole physical aspect of why we're here. And so we have to live in our bodies as healthily as we can for as long as we can, and hopefully, help other people do the same. So, yeah, that's my other passion. So I think where Alchemy's heading in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 years maybe is, the conscious creation, living deliberately, living creatively, and also helping people get the skills to do the same. So, yeah, that's where my big dream is, to, travel the world and do this work and watch the miracles unfold.
So what does success look like to you, Annie? Is that success for you?
Yeah, that's success to me. I mean, I think success to me is helping people. Success is also having the money to help people. And I think this is an interesting aspect about success, because people have this preconception that money is not spiritual. Well, sorry to say, but guess what it is? Because we need money. It's a form of trade on earth. And bring it on. Bring on the money. Bring on the money that allows us to do the work, and that we can travel. And if we have to travel first class and take the message out there, then so be it, But I'm not shy about moving forward and saying to people, you know what, abundance is our birthright. And, you know, I think I don't know, I think people have tended to believe that, you know, money is the root of all evil and all these funny old sayings, the limited beliefs that we've been brought up with. And it's just not true. You know, money is there to be used, and it's to be earned, and it's to be passed on to other people for their growth as well. So success to me is mind, body and spirit. It's looking after your body and nurturing your mind and reaching the full potential of what your mind has got to offer, and living spiritually. And, you know, I'm not afraid of death. And if I died tomorrow, I would say that I had the most fantastic life. And, you know, when people pass away, I just think, wow, you know, lucky them, because they're moving to a different dimension, and they're moving back to their soul group, and they're moving to people that they once knew here on earth, and you know, and they'll come back and probably live another lifetime and learn more lessons and everything. So, you know, I'm just Annie Mae in this body this time. Who knows what I'll be next time round.
So what's your legacy, Annie? Have you got a legacy?
Have I got a legacy? Potentially my legacy would be to leave this world knowing that I've helped people create this, and also leave the templates behind so that I've got other people that can do the work. And, you know, there's so many teachers out there, and there's so many amazing mentors out there that are teaching us so many different aspects of who we are and what we've got to offer. And I'm, I suppose, committed to bringing all of that together to make it pretty user-friendly. I find when I'm doing a lot of this research that a lot of it becomes tiresome, scientific, not boring, but, you know, really time-consuming. And I think let's just get to the point, because we know that we can do this work. We all just want to be able to access a better life on some level. So let's do that. So my legacy would be to say, if anybody wanted to live a better life and bring others that they love along with them, then these are the tools to do it. And all the things that you and I have talked about over the years, Hayden, are all part of that, you know, and all of the things that you offer are all part of that as well. And I think, you know, we need to dance to our own, you know, the tune of our own drum, and we need to be able to say, you know, this works for me. And interestingly, you know, other health professionals and healers and things will often look across and say, you know, oh, that doesn't, you know, I don't know what they're doing there, and I don't know. But really, we've all been downloaded, and we're all downloading different forms of healing and health and wellness for us to share with the world, because everybody's different. And I think that that's something to be celebrated and, you know, not to be judged. And I think that's a really important aspect of being our own person. And you know, the legacies that we leave, as you know, from all the different people around the world, everyone leaves a different legacy, and there is always, you know, an element of people who really want to pick that up and run with that. And it's just, you know, it's like music. There's musical taste for everybody, and some people resonate with it and some people don't. So I'm hoping that people resonate with what I've got to offer, and they, you know, get in touch with me, and, you know, I can give them the tools, and I can actually have the joy in watching them manifest and create their futures, because it's so easy. And it just takes some commitment, and yeah. So it's very exciting times that we're living in, don't you think?
Oh, I totally agree. I think that, you know, it's a beautiful legacy and a vision that you're holding for not only your own future, but for the planet as well. And I think that, you know, we've always got to remember, you know, that as well, like holding a beautiful vision for the, you know, the planet as we move forward, so we can sort of see it evolving into, you know, this beautiful golden age of Aquarius, you know, with all of us ascending in with our human bodies still intact, you know, because we don't actually have to cross to be able to experience heaven on earth. And you've, you know, demonstrated that really, you know, with this amazing sanctuary that you've created on a crystal reef up in the Yallingup Hills. And, you know, for anyone who is watching this, you know, do yourself a favor and go out to Alchemy Body and Soul and go and experience firsthand one of the amazing retreats that Annie and Nigel run together. And, you know, and just, you'll just feel yourself, you know, evolving without even putting any logical thought into it. So, you know, good on you, Annie. I wanted to look at your date of birth as well, just to sort of see how that coincides with, you know, your soul purpose that you've described so eloquently. And it's interesting because you were born on the 9th of the 3rd, 1962, so the 9th of March 1962, which gives you two numbers really which are sort of quite dominant for you. The first one is, and I haven't got the other one off the shelf, but I wanted to just introduce the colour mirrors bottles that I'm learning at the moment with Moira Bush in Canada. She lives in Ontario in Canada. She's my mentor, and this is Mars, okay, because you're a day number 9, okay, so this is my ruling number as well, Annie, so we actually share this combination of colours, and as you can see, it's red over orange, okay, can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so what it means is, like, basically Mars, it's represented by Mars, okay, so 9 is the humanitarian. They're actually the healer, they're the wise counselor. They carry a lot of wisdom with them, and they want to, the biggest thing is that a responsibility for themselves and for the planet to be able to heal and to evolve. Now it also carries the red in that is a very dynamic, it's a very strong, it's a very active, it's a very assertive color, and that sits in the conscious mind. So it's a very it's a doing color. So it means that these people are very driven to attain their goals. It's the fire energy that goes through, and the orange, which sits in the subconscious, as you mentioned before, about shock and trauma and creativity. So it's also it's almost like instead it's driving yourself forward and transcending anger, so that you can actually say what needs to be said and do what needs to be done, instead of thinking, I wish I'd said and done that. So it's that kind of drive and ambition that sits with the day number. So it's a beautiful combination of colors. So it's your red over your orange, but it's often the case that you might have had to deal with trauma or shock in the past, and to have to overcome those, to be able to learn your lessons, and to be able to then impart that information onto other people. Now your ruling number is a 3, so when you add up all of the numbers in your birthday and you reduce it to a single digit, it's a number 3, and it's another mind number, okay? So your 9 is a mind number, it's on the mental plane, and so is the 3. So the 3s, it's actually Jupiter. It's the coral over coral bottle in the colour mirror system. So it's a beautiful, almost like a pale orangey yellow colour. And it's all about expansion. We know that Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system. And the number 3 is all about expansion. So for you, it's about growing. It's about personal development. It's about not having any limitations. And you spoke so beautifully earlier on about how that we as human beings don't necessarily see our own potential, and this is what you're here to do. You're here to help people believe in themselves, see their true potential, so that they can go on to create their own heaven on earth. So it's a really beautiful, very dynamic combination of mental numbers, and plus on top of that, because you have all 3 numbers on your mental plane, which is your 3, your 6, and your 9, because you were born in 62. It's called the arrow of intellect. So you've got a very active mind, Annie, and you're always thinking, always coming up with new ideas, but you're also a planner, because you've got the 1, 2, and 3, which is called the arrow of the planner. So you like to plan things, you like to know what's coming next. You're very inquisitive. You've got a very analytical, quite a logical mind, as well as a creative one. And of course, all of that is, it's just a beautiful combination for somebody who runs a wellness retreat. The only thing is, you don't have many influences on your physical plane. So, the body work that you're doing, the Qigong that Nigel teaches, the massage that you are involved in is so brilliant for rebalancing your chart. And it puts those influences down there on your on your physical plane. So, but you're very intuitive with that lovely number 2 as well. So Jupiter and Mars for you, Annie May, they're your biggest influence planets, and it's all the reds, oranges, and coral colors which come through for you. And of course, in color mirrors, we also have to look at the complementary colors to those as well. So with red, it's green, Okay, so anything red and green, it's dealing with like issues of expression of anger in a constructive way. Anything orange, the complementary to orange is blue. Okay, so this is to do with protection. It's to do with, you know, it's a very masculine energy, but it also carries the vibration of the Mother Mary. And it's to do with communication. Okay, so blue is communication and trust. So really trusting and going with the flow. With life as well. And of course, with your coral, your complementaries to that are your olive green, which is about new beginnings, hope for the future, planting the olive tree so that it grows in the future into something that, you know, the doves can kind of carry away the olive branch. So it's yeah, it's a gorgeous selection of colours that really you have in your vibration, Annie, and serves you nicely with the sort of work that you're doing. So hopefully that resonated with you today.
Yes,
And
totally. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, as you say, the contrasting colours of blues and greens, and being a Pisces, of course, you know, I just love all those ocean colours and the botanical colours, and I mean, all colours are beautiful and they all have a purpose. So, but those particular colours really resonate with me. So, and I love the analogy that you made about the arrow of intellect and the mental plane and everything, because it does kind of all fall into place, doesn't it? You know, it starts to make sense, and you don't really make that conscious decision that, oh, this is what I'm doing and this is what I am and this is what I should be doing, because you just do it. And then when somebody like yourself, you know, pulls it apart and analyzes, it's like, oh, wow, smack bang, perfect, right on. Amazing.
well, that's right, because, you know, we all come in, don't we, on a soul contract. So that includes not only choosing, you know, the Annie May body that you come in on, but also, you know, the exact snap shot of the you know, the cosmos, you know, the star system that you're born under and where you come in on the earth as well. So that's all predetermined, so that, you know, that you can carry the energetic influences into to being the person that you need to be able to learn those lessons during this lifetime, and then obviously cross back over into the non-physical and back as part of that beautiful, vibrant light, you know, when we cross over, and that's when your legacy is going to be left behind. So yeah. Well, listen, thank you so much, Annie, for joining me today. And for anybody else that's watching the show, I'll be back here at the same time, same place next week, 6 to 6:30 on every Wednesday for more Wise Women in Wellness. And yeah, I hope you have a really enjoyable rest of your evening. Remember, Survivor Australia starts tonight for anyone who's interested. See you later. Bye for now.
Thank you so much. Bye, Hayden.